thoughtful, and slightly mysterious, then fades to a subtle background hum. Have you ever wondered if there's more to healing than what we're told? I've spent my life researching a truth that could change everything. It's a truth my colleagues often dismissed, perhaps because it challenges the very foundation of what we think we know. The pharmaceutical industry, for instance, focuses on chemical solutions, but what if they're missing the bigger picture? What if the real secret to health isn't in a pill, but within us? The universe, at its core, is made of energy. Think of it like waves in the water. In fact, it is energy moving through water that creates those waves. Let me show you. Imagine I drop two identical rocks from the same height at the same time into a still pond. As they hit the water, the ripples they create are perfectly in sync, moving toward each other. What do you think happens when those waves meet? When they're in phase like this, their energy amplifies. It's called constructive interference. The waves combine to form a single, much stronger wave. Now, let's try something different. This time I drop one rock, and then a moment later, I drop the second. They're still identical rocks, dropped from the same height, but now their timing is off. The waves they create are out of sync. As they travel toward each other, one wave is rising while the other is falling. When they meet, they cancel each other out. This is called destructive interference. You've probably felt this in your own life without even realizing it. Picture this. It's a Saturday night. You're feeling tired, but you've promised to go to a party. You get there, start talking to some people, and suddenly you feel a spark. There's an energy between you, a connection, like you're completely in sync. You feel energized, walking around with a new spring in your step. That's constructive interference at work. But what about the opposite? You walk into a room, and the vibe just feels off. The energy is wrong, and it drains you, leaving you feeling exhausted. That's destructive interference, where the energy field around you is in direct conflict with your own. This isn't just a human experience. All living beings, animals, plants, they all communicate through vibrations. A gazelle doesn't need to walk up to a lion and ask, "Are you my friend?" It can feel the predator's energy from a distance and instinctively knows to run. If we were more in tune with our own vibrations, we might avoid toxic relationships and bad situations. Yet, we're taught from a young age to ignore these feelings, to rely on logic and words instead. But language can be deceptive. It often hides our true feelings. We miss the chance to listen to the vibrations all around us. The ability to sense this energy is inside every one of us, but we're simply not taught how to use it. Let me show you how deeply this goes. Vibrations can actually influence the proteins in our bodies. Proteins are the building blocks of life. They give us our structure and make us function. If vibrations can alter them, they can alter our health. Look at this image of a gold atom. Under an electron microscope, you might think you're seeing a solid particle. But here is the mind-blowing part. If you had a camera that could fly right through the atom, taking pictures, and you developed the film, there would be nothing on it. It's 99.9999% empty space. Think of a tornado. If you tried to drive a car at 150 kilometers per hour straight into it, you'd hit it like a brick wall. It seems solid, right? But if you could magically remove all the dirt and dust from that spinning vortex of wind and drive through the exact same spot, it would feel like a clear day. Why? Because atoms are like miniature tornadoes of energy, and every atom creates waves. You are made of trillions of atoms, which means you are constantly emitting and absorbing energy. Right now, in this very room, you are a beacon of light and energy. So why doesn't modern medicine talk about this? Because it's not profitable. The pharmaceutical industry is built on selling chemicals to treat symptoms, not on addressing the underlying energy. Traditional medicine views the body as a machine made of particles. But quantum physics, the most validated science in history, teaches us that matter and energy are two sides of the same coin. This new physics brings the mind, the energy back into the equation. As Einstein himself said, the field is the sole governing agency of the particle. Your mind is the field that shapes your body. What you believe, what you think, physically changes your biology. When we look at each other, we see physical bodies, but that's an illusion. In reality, we are interacting waves of energy. This is why one person's presence can influence another's just by being in their field. Let's get even more specific. Every single cell in your body has a negative charge on the inside and a positive charge on the outside. Every living cell is a tiny biological battery. Each one holds about 1.4 volts of energy. Now multiply that by the 50 trillion cells in your body. That's 700 trillion volts of potential energy running through you right now. With focused training, like meditation, you can learn to harness this energy, often called qi, and use it for profound healing. So if we have all this power, what's gone wrong? Why do we get sick? The problem lies in our beliefs. 40 years ago, I began researching stem cells. Many people think this is a recent discovery, but I learned back then that stem cells hold the secret to life itself. You have stem cells all over your body, ready to replace any damaged tissue or organ. In theory, you could stay young and healthy for hundreds of years, so why do we age and get sick? It's because our minds control our cells and our genes. We, as a collective, believe in aging. We expect to get old and frail, and that belief becomes our biological reality. In 1977, I published a study showing how the environment directly influences the behavior of our cells. I used the word modulated to describe this, meaning the environment altered their fate. My colleagues didn't want to hear it. It went against everything they'd been taught. But just 5 months later, one of the world's most prestigious science journals, Nature published an article that confirmed exactly what I had been saying. Stem cells are in constant communication with their environment. Science is finally catching up. Today, we know that up to 95% of people could live happy, healthy lives if they just learned how to change their thoughts. The mind is the primary source of illness on this planet. But the beautiful thing is, we have the power to change that. If we become conscious of our thoughts and the vibrations we emit, we can create the life we want, a life of health, peace, and harmony. Want to take control of your life? It all starts right here, inside your head. Before you can control your mind, you have to understand how it actually works. See, your mind has two main parts, the conscious and the subconscious. Think of your conscious mind as the captain of your ship. It's logical, analytical, and it's what you're using right now to listen to my voice and process this information. But here's the thing. The captain is only in charge about 5% of the time. The other 95%? That's run by the subconscious mind. Your subconscious is the massive, powerful crew operating below deck. It's where your habits, deep-seated emotions, your fears, and your core beliefs are stored. It's automatic, it's lightning fast, and it runs almost your entire life on autopilot. This is why most of us live in reaction mode. Something happens, your boss criticizes your work. You get a bill you weren't expecting, and you instantly react. That reaction, the stress, the anger, the anxiety, it isn't random. It's a pre-programmed response firing from your subconscious, based on old patterns and experiences, maybe from years or even decades ago. To truly take control of the ship, you can't just shout orders from the captain's chair. You have to go below deck and understand the crew. You have to become aware of these automatic patterns. So, how do you do that? The first, most crucial step to controlling your mind is simply awareness. It sounds too simple, but it's the key that unlocks everything else. The next time you feel a strong negative emotion, stress, anger, laziness, or fear, I want you to just pause. Don't act on it, don't judge it. Just hit the brakes for a second. In that pause, ask yourself a few simple questions. Why am I really feeling this way? What specific thought or event triggered this reaction? And most importantly, is this emotion helping me or is it hurting me right now? This practice of pausing and questioning creates a space. It's a tiny gap between the trigger and your response. And in that space, you reclaim your power. You get to choose your response instead of reacting blindly like a puppet on a string. Let me give you a classic example. You're driving and someone suddenly cuts you off in traffic. Your automatic, subconscious reaction might be a surge of anger. Your heart pounds. You might yell. You might honk your horn. Your whole mood is ruined for the next 20 minutes. But what if you practice awareness? The car cuts you off. You feel that initial flash of anger, but you pause. You notice it. And then you choose. You can say to yourself, okay, that was annoying. But maybe they're rushing to the hospital. Maybe they just made a mistake. I'm not going to let this one person steal my peace for the rest of my morning. You take a deep breath and you let it go. That's control. That's real power. It's not about never feeling anger. It's about deciding that you won't let that anger drive your car. You are in charge, not the fleeting emotion. That's the first step. Awareness. Once you've become aware of your automatic thought patterns, the next step is to actively reprogram them. This is where the real transformation begins. You have to understand this fundamental sequence. Your thoughts become your beliefs. Your beliefs shape your actions. And your actions, repeated over time, create the reality of your life. If you want to change your life, you have to start by changing your thoughts. So begin by becoming an observer of your own self-talk. What's the background commentary running in your head all day? Are you constantly telling yourself things like, I'm not good enough for that promotion. I'll never succeed. I always mess things up. I'm always so tired. I'm broke. I'm just an unlucky person. Listen closely, because that inner voice is your subconscious programming made audible. And if it's negative, it's time to rewrite the code. Here's a simple but incredibly effective technique. First, you catch the negative thought. You see it for what it is, just a thought, not the absolute truth. Then, you challenge it and replace it with a positive, empowering truth. So instead of, I can't do this, it's too hard, you stop and consciously say to yourself, I'm learning, I'm growing, I can figure this out. I've got this. I'll be honest, it's going to feel awkward and maybe even silly at first. Your brain will resist it because it's used to the old, familiar pathway, but you have to persist. Repetition is what reprograms the subconscious mind. It's exactly like going to the gym. You don't get strong muscles by lifting a dumbbell once. You do it consistently. In the same way, repeating empowering thoughts day after day builds a strong, resilient, and positive mindset. Now, controlling your mind isn't a one-time fix. It's not a magic pill. It's a daily practice, a form of mental fitness. To help you make this a real, lasting change in your life, I want to share 5 simple habits you can start today to train your mind. First, create a morning mindset ritual. Don't just stumble into your day and let the world's chaos hit you. Start your day with intention. Before you even check your phone, take 5 minutes. You could journal 3 things you're grateful for. You could say a powerful affirmation out loud, like I am focused, calm, and capable. You could close your eyes and visualize your goals as if they're already achieved. How you start your morning sets the tone for the entire day. Second, practice meditation. And don't get intimidated by this. You don't need to sit for an hour in silence. Even 5 minutes a day can have a profound impact. Meditation is simply an exercise to calm the mental noise and strengthen your ability to focus. There are amazing guided meditation apps that can walk you through it. It's like a bicep curl for your attention span. Third, use mindful breathing. This is your emergency brake for anxiety and stress. The next time you feel overwhelmed, stop what you're doing and take 4 deep, slow breaths. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, and exhale for 4 seconds. This simple act sends a signal to your nervous system to calm down. It instantly shifts both your mind and your body out of fight or flight mode. Fourth, manage your positive input. What you feed your mind is just as important as what you feed your body. The books you read, the podcasts you listen to, the content you watch, the people you spend time with, they all shape your mindset. If you're constantly consuming negativity, gossip, and fear, your mind will reflect that. Make a conscious choice to feed it with things that are uplifting, educational, and inspiring. And fifth, actively challenge negative thoughts. Don't just passively accept every thought that pops into your head as the gospel truth. Your mind generates thousands of thoughts a day. Many of them are just random, useless noise. When a negative thought appears, question it. Ask, is this thought 100% true? Is there another way to look at this situation? Reframe it. Remember this, you are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. As you start to practice these habits and gain more control over your mind, something incredible starts to happen. You begin to live your life on purpose instead of by accident. You stop being a victim of your own emotions. You find that you can stay calm and clear-headed even when things get stressful. You start making better decisions, both big and small. Your confidence grows, and you feel a sense of inner freedom that you might not have felt in years. This is the real secret that separates high performers, great leaders, and truly peaceful people from everyone else. It's not that they don't have fears, doubts, or stress. They do, but they've trained themselves to master their inner world. They've learned how to pilot their own minds, and the best part is, this is a skill. It's not a gift you're born with. It's a skill that anyone can learn. And that means you can too. It just takes commitment and practice. If you've watched this video all the way to this point, you've already taken the most important step. You're becoming more aware, more intentional, And because of that, you are already more powerful. Now I want to turn this over to you. I want you to make a commitment right now. What is one thought or one habit that you're going to start to change, starting today? Drop it in the comments below. Declaring it makes it real. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, and be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. I have so many more tools and strategies coming your way to help you unlock your full potential and build the life you truly want. Until next time, remember this: take control of your mind, and you will take control of your life. You've got this.